short. I had to yeah, my grandma called in because she was having problems with her Norton security stuff.
Hmm.
So I just had to make sure she was okay.
Oh yeah, no, of course you gotta check on Granny.
Yeah, she's very sweet, very wise too.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, it's been a long day. Woke up this morning, went to the gym as usual, trying to keep that
Mhm.
routine going. And yeah, had lunch, then went to work, and now we're here.
Yeah, I've been at work all day. I'm just now getting done. I was actually supposed to be off today, but it turned out I was not going to be off. So,
Wow, that's okay. Well,
hmm,
hey, it's probably life is a priority first.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So like the fire in the background.
Thank you. I didn't want anything to like play any sound, so I'm like, the fireplace thing is cool versus
It's
looking at
okay.
TV, huh?
Yeah, hey, that works.
Hmm.
So well, well, now that we're here, I guess we can go ahead and get this thing started. So nice to have you here. So my name is Phil, host of the Conversation Podcast, and I have a guest here with me tonight. Introduce yourself. Who's Baby Tattzz I'm speaking to this Monday evening?
Hi, my real name's Alexis Nelson. I go by Baby Tattzz, and I'm a tattoo artist in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yes, she's done a lot of work if you haven't checked it out. So go check it out, please. So before we get started, I want to do start with a little bit of an icebreaker.
Mhm.
Now, it's the beginning of Black History Month. I
Yes.
got one question for you. Have you ever done any and yes, by the way, I'm wearing Static Shock for this podcast. Have you tried any black superheroes for tattoos?
I have not, but that's only because I don't feel like I get a lot of requests for that. I'm mostly like a black and gray realism tattoo artist, so I do a lot of like animal realism. I'm into portraits. I do a lot of script, like font and stuff like that. I haven't done a lot of even like cartoon kind of work. I just don't know if that's just not the market that I'm in at the moment. I did do some Boondocks characters, but I haven't had anybody request like any superheroes or anything like ever. So unfortunately, no, but hopefully in the future.
You'll get there. You'll get there. No brush. And yes, and also by the way, I did start the old show Static Shock this morning. I just finished
Hmm.
up some other shows, but now I get back. I'm watching the whole DC anime universe over again. So
Uh-huh.
now I'm back to this guy.
My daughter's super into anime, so she's having me take her to an anime convention. I forget what it's called. Like, I believe it's called like Animate Me or something like that. But she found
Animate.
Animate, yes, and it's coming in Columbus, I think, in July. So she's having me take her friend. She's super excited. She's a big anime fan.
Oh boy, please take her because those conventions are big and expensive too.
Yeah, I told her. She's
Also,
like, well, she's like, you could take me and my friends. I'm like, you guys are trying to run my pockets. It is very expensive. It's okay. I'm gonna
I,
take
I will tell you this. I
her.
have heard that some voice actors go to like these Anime Inc. conventions or ghost
Hmm.
tattoos and they get their characters tattoo on themselves.
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
they
know
did.
anime conventions and tattoo conventions are two like really like big categories, I think, for conventions that are super popular, like the cosplay stuff and the tattoo stuff. They kind of go together because there's a lot of anime tattoo artists. I don't necessarily specialize in anime tattoos, but I do know other artists that do, and it's a big thing.
Hey, as long as it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
all right. So, I think I sent you the questions and you saw all of them. I know it's 25 questions, but I had to do a lot of research and look at your bio and figure out what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, hope you don't mind the hard work I put into these questions.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, so let's go ahead and start with section one, origin story and the artist within. Now, before the needle, before the name, who was Alexis as an artist growing up? What kind of art first pulled you in?
I would say painting and drawing, and especially painting is something that I really definitely still love to this day. I remember as a kid in art class, I was actually between art and like literature. Those are my favorite subjects. And even in high school, I mean, there was murals on the wall that I painted in high school. There was artwork that I made in class that was still even hanging well after I graduated. And it's just always been something that I was passionate about. Me and my art teacher, his name was Mr. Kellum, we were like this. So he would let me skip certain classes and come into his art room and help him teach and stuff.
Mhm.
And it was definitely eye-opening for me. I was also taught like in high school, like I played basketball as well. So I did end up going to Wilberforce University on a basketball scholarship. And I feel like I was pushed early on in my 18 to 20-year-old life to, go and chase the corporate world and get a degree and stuff. And honestly, that just wasn't a conventional outlet for me. It didn't work out for me. I ended up dropping out of college and going to hair school. And so I think that's what really kind of put a momentum into me going more into my art career. I did makeup for years. I worked at Mac. I did hair for a little while, and I did nails for 7 years, and even owned a nail salon. And I just always been an artistic, creative kind of person. I love, being around other people who are also artistic and creative. And I think like being in the beauty industry allowed me to be myself even more. So eventually, my boyfriend had convinced me to try out tattooing. I'm surprised it wasn't anything I considered at one point in my life, but he was like, I just think it'd be something that you're really good at because you can draw, you're artistic, and I feel like that would be more of an outlet for you, especially because I had kind of burnt myself out during my nail career. And I had carpal tunnel, so like something needs to change. So I did give tattooing a try, and I happened to be good at it, and I loved it, and I just am still moving forward. I'm still growing and learning, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I've heard so many people like their whole stuff for art started in high school and
Mm-hmm.
elementary school, etc. And sometimes when you find yourself at a crossroads, you have to think about like, what do I want to do that's going to make me happy? Not that I need to do, but
Mm-hmm.
what I really want to do. Like, what's it going to make me happy, be successful? Because I know so many people be like, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." But I was like, "Is that going to make you happy?" No,
And
that's
I
all.
feel
That's what I'd be saying.
exactly, and I feel like our elders were taught like that you have to have a job and you have to have a 9 to 5 and bring in that money, but that's not the only way. Like there is other ways to make a really decent living for yourself and still, follow your purpose and do something that's part of your passion. And that's something that I'm really like passionate about is like teaching people that you can do what makes you happy and still be successful. But it does take a certain level of faith to be able to do that.
Yeah, like sometimes you just got to be hungry for it. You really need to
Mhm.
get after it. If it's really something you really want to do, you really
Mhm.
need to be like seriously, be like, hey, I want to do this. Let's get after it.
Mhm. And I feel like anything that you put energy and effort towards and you're consistent with that energy and effort, I feel like you will see the fruits of your labor. So,
I agree. Well,
mhm.
looks like you're in the right position, Alexis. Keep doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, number two, what was the exact moment you realized tattooing wasn't just interesting, but something you needed to pursue?
Um, like I said before, I was doing nails and I had carpal tunnel, and I mean, there was one point in my career where I was able to complete 9 clients a day, and then it had got to the point where I couldn't do more than like 3 clients without my hands totally giving out on me. So I knew that there needed to be a career switch. I wasn't sure what career switch that would be. When I started tattooing, I was at first a little timid, like, oh, maybe it'll be the same thing with nails. Like I won't be able to do as many people or do as big tattoos, but there is a big difference in the machine that we use and things like that. And it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Ergonomically correct. So I can use the machine without like triggering my carpal tunnel. So once I realized that I can still be creative, I can still follow my passions, I can still be in the world of art and have a career, that's when I was like, okay, I need to go full force with tattooing and, let nails and everything else I was doing go. Cause I feel like this was the best path for me.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yes, going back to what you said earlier, like, it all started with the hair salon and it grew into
Mhm.
something spectacular.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I dropped out of college, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I was actually a psychology major in college, so totally different than what I'm doing now. But I do feel like it has helped me be a little bit more open and relatable with my clients, because it's not just when tattooing is not just about art. It's about the relationships that you know, create from the art and all the meaning that goes behind it. So I do feel like everything was for a reason. So
Okay, sweet. Everything has to be a reason, like, origin story. It
yeah.
all compels how, like, what was our, like, start point for when all this happened. And I think, people who've done so many stuff in school, like you've
Hmm.
been through all the classes, you've been through this, like elementary, high school, all general education stuff. But when you start to get to the end, it's like, I'm
Hmm.
done with education. What do I need to do now?
Yeah, for sure. But no, it's been a great journey. I'm very proud of where I'm at now and everything that I've gone through to get here. So,
Exciting. Well, keep telling that story, okay?
oh, thank you.
Let's see. If I got this correctly, you've done only 2 years of tattooing, right?
So I'm coming up on my third year. It'll be 3 years in June. But yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So only 2 years into tattooing, what surprised you most about the reality of the industry versus what you imagined?
I think it was like a big shock switching from, I came from the beauty industry where is more female dominated, and you know the girls are a lot more inviting in that industry. So when you need help, there's somebody who's willing to help you. When you have questions, there's someone willing to answer them. If you need promotion, you can make friendships and you guys can cross promote and help each other. And I feel like the big switch coming into the tattoo industry is I was expecting it to be like that as well, and it's a lot more gate kept. And now I'm understanding why, but not that I necessarily agree with it. But when I first started out, there wasn't a lot of people that was willing to help me out, ask questions they weren't willing to answer. Even trying to go and shop at some of the tattoo supply stores. I remember one store cracked the door open on me and was like, "What can I help you with?" and didn't let me in. So it's very gate kept, almost like, I don't want to say a secret society, but when you first are trying to get in, it can be hard to get your foot in the door. And you really have to work hard to make those relationships and build trust and all that with different artists in order to be a part of the industry, I guess. And I do wish that it was a little less gate kept because it's an art form, and I don't feel that art should be gate kept. I feel like it should be accessible to everybody, but I guess it is that way due to like the history of tattooing and all the other politics behind it. But yeah, that was the main thing. It was like this is not as open and friendly as the beauty industry. So,
Yeah, because and I'll tell you this, I interviewed another tattoo artist like when I was at the what was it called? Villain
those
Arts. Villain
oh,
Arts.
oh,
Yes,
last year,
that's
oh, the
yeah.
recent one. Okay.
Yeah, it was the one. It was the one in Savannah last in September, and I met her. Her name was Hannah. She actually, we talked about a few things. I think, wait, yeah, we talked about a few things talking about how it's mostly men doing the tattoo and women can't do tattoos, and it's kind of like really interesting to me because I was like, okay, sure, men can do tattoos, but women can do tattoos as well. Like, I don't care who you are or what you are, as long as
Yeah.
I get my tattoos and it's done correctly.
Hmm.
And adding on to that, like, some people hide so many secrets,
Hmm.
techniques, and like, the secret sauce to like how
Yeah.
the tattoos are being made. And it's like if we expose our secret, like everybody's gonna want a piece of the cake,
Hmm.
and it's really hard to keep it from those keep those people from getting their hands on it.
What I feel like is that the tattoo industry, and then this is actually a fact, it's a male dominated industry, but it's also a white male dominated industry. So sometimes it could be harder for women or women of color to get their foot in the door because we just need the opportunity to learn. And if you are, I guess, a minority in that system, it's going to be harder for you to be able to get access to that kind of information. That's my personal belief too.
Mhm.
But and I do feel like that's some of the tribulations that I ran into. But I also was very grateful to have met some even Black men in the industry that was willing to help me out. Like, it just took a matter of, like I said, building and forming those relationships. But yeah, it definitely is a male dominated industry. But women can tattoo very, very well. And I know some amazing like powerhouse tattoo artists that are women, of all different races. So I do feel like eventually one day, and I think we're working on it to where it'll be more of an open industry and we'll see more artists coming out the woodworks. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Right, it's a work of progress. One time I did post it on my bio on my Instagram saying, "Never give up because great things take time."
Hmm.
These things don't happen over time. And you're right about the whole white male being dominant over the industry.
Hmm.
It's not just females, people, because lately with the state of our world today, you got more diverse people coming in. Because I've seen a lot of Hispanics, Chinese,
Hmm.
Japanese people doing tattoos day to day, and it's like, huh? So anybody, like, it doesn't matter what you are, y'all can do tattoos, and
Yeah.
and that's been a thing since like what, like 1980, if I got that right. If males are doing that. But
Hmm.
you get the picture.
Yeah, and if we really was to get deep into it, if you go to the history of tattooing and where tattooing originated from, it was in Asia and African cultures, and it was more of a religious thing and a cultural thing. So, but yeah.
Gotcha. Dude, I'm learning a lot today.
Hmm.
So, yeah, listen, every day I learn something new.
Yes.
So, number four, what did you think tattooing became your happy place specifically? Wait, sorry.
Mhm.
Let me rephrase that. Why do you think tattooing became your happy place specifically compared to other art forms?
I feel like it became a happy place because there's not necessarily a ceiling on where I could go with the art. Like, I meet all different types of people. They're gonna want all different forms of art. I'm constantly gonna be challenged. And I like for instance, if I make an example out of nails, I do feel like there was a point where I was burnt out, I was bored, and it was the same thing because you can only do so many nail designs, right, on these tiny canvases. And I was like, oh, I need something new. Like, I need something fresh, something where I could be creative. I could come in here on Wednesday and do a bunch of little meaningful names and birth dates. And then on the next day, I could do a full blown back piece of something somebody has been wanting for their whole life. So there's no ceiling and no limits to my art in this industry. And that's where I decided I wanted to dive deep because it's something I really enjoy doing.
You know the old saying, you can't put strings on me.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't want to feel limited. I feel like this is my only life that I'm good. Well, not my only life. I'll probably have, if you believe in reincarnation, I'll probably have more lives. But this is the one life I get to live right now. And I want to do all the things that I want to do. And I'm a multi talented individual. And I do believe in people being most multifaceted. And I don't want to put myself in a box ever. So, yeah.
Right, that's true. You can be a person of many talents. Like,
Hmm.
myself, I'm doing a lot right now, trying to do this. So doing like all the Twitch streaming, and now I'm out to like find jobs for like because I finished cybersecurity and everything. So it's
Nice.
okay to be a person of many talents because it's something that you have to have some sort of foundation to keep yourself
Hmm.
sustained. And
Yeah.
and another saying is, some direction is better than no direction.
Yeah, and I don't like when people say negative things about people who have multi interests or whatever. Like, oh, they're a jack of all trades, and a jack of all trades is a specialist in none. I don't believe in that. I believe that you should explore every aspect of yourself while you can.
Exactly, exactly. We're almost at the end of this section, and then we'll be in section two: representation, skin tones, and intentional work.
Okay.
Now, here's a question. You'll like this one. How did the name Baby Tattzz come to be, and what does it represent for you now?
So I had a very hard time coming up with what my tattoo name would be. I actually tried out a couple different ones, but the reason I chose Baby Tats is to go back to like where I was saying that it was hard to get into the industry and there was a lot of gate kept information. They like to call tattooers who are newer in the industry baby tattooers. And so I kind of looked at myself as a baby tattooer. Like, I mean, I still would technically be considered one. And so that's where the name Baby Tats came from. But also, and I haven't really got into it yet, but I do want to teach more in this industry. Like, as I'm learning, I also want to teach and I want to help other baby tattooers get into the industry. That's something I'm passionate about, is like kind of breaking open the gate kept door that is to the tattoo industry. So that's where Baby Tats came from, because I want to help other baby tattooers. So, but that's just like my stage name now. So
Well, hey, I still like it. So
Thank you.
I keep it. Don't change it. Because, this, I think it's nice that you have, see, okay. So, see, now
Mhm.
I understand the context behind it
Mhm.
because you want to help people who's in the same boat as you were back then, trying
Yep.
to find their way through tattooing as well.
Yep,
You
exactly.
know, I think
Bunch
that's
of
how
baby.
those, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying a bunch of baby tatters, me and the rest of them. So,
And I've seen so many creators on the internet, they have to come up with very specific names. I've seen so many people, even the people I've interviewed before, they had to think very hard about their names. There's
hmm
this one girl that I interviewed. She does like a lot of not safe for work stuff. And
hmm
she goes by Azora. So she came
hmm
up with Azora because Azora means blue skies in Japanese.
Oh, nice.
And I was like,
That no, I'm really into Japanese stuff too. So actually, my studio has its own name. It's Yume Ink Studio, which Yume is dream in Japanese.
yeah.
But yes, I'm into that type of stuff too.
Yeah. It took me long enough, using my username. I changed it was before it was Phil Crew 2000 because I was born in 2000. But
hmm
now since I'm getting into like this whole business, like I'm really growing now, I was
hmm
like, okay, I'll go ahead and embrace the name.
hmm
I changed it to Phil Crew Productions.
That's nice though. I like that, and it
So
represents you overall in the business. So.
yeah, so basically, like productions, I be talking about a lot of these things here that you see the backgrounds, but
hmm
it's like I can talk about anything. I can do
hmm
anything. Productions means you can do anything.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, well, shoot, let's just change it to productions.
and I don't think that's a bad idea either, because you don't know where this career is going to take you. You might, go way beyond your initial idea. And I do like that you have a nice umbrella name that can cover it all.
Exactly. So I chose something that means everything. And to be honest, is I want to stand by the name. I'm actually proud of it because look at me
Mhm.
now. I'm growing like I'm almost like getting close to where I need to be, and it's getting like because I'm almost at 1,000 and followers on Instagram,
Yeah,
and I saw I didn't think I would make it that far
mhm,
because now it's like oh my gosh. Back then I was at 600. Now
mhm.
I'm almost at 1,000.
And then one day you're going to look back on this interview and you're gonna be like, I remember when I was at 1,000, now I'm at 100,000. So it just keeps growing from there.
Yeah, but to be honest, I want to make sure that I like my work no matter what I do. Because I don't
Mhm.
want to do it just for the attention. Like I'm doing this because I like interacting with people, and I'm trying to get out. Listen, I'll be honest. I'm Alexis. Sometimes I'm not a people person. I'm an introvert. Like I'd rather just be alone, just playing games and stuff. And
Mhm.
it's like at some point, I need to try to go out and interact with more people because you never
Yeah.
know.
Well, this is a good way to do it, and you're building something at the same time.
So as long as it works and it's a work in progress, I'm okay with it as long as it
Yeah,
works.
it's working.
So, all right. So we're out of that section. We are now in section 2,
Okay.
representation, skin tones, and intentional work.
hmm
So now you take pride in how your tattoos heal on black and brown skin.
Yeah.
Why was that something you made non-negotiable in your work?
Well, one, I am mixed race. My mom is white. She's from Louisiana. My dad is black. He's from Trinidad. And just being, a mixed race girl or biracial girl in this industry. Also, like I said before, like with it being gate kept for artists, I do feel like it's also gate kept for clients. Like there's a lot of black clients that want to walk into a shop and get some work, and sometimes they're turned away because the artist may not have a lot of experience working on their skin tone. And there is a difference between tattooing fair skin and tattooing brown skin. Like there is some techniques that need to be switched around, and color theory knowledge that needs to be known and stuff. So with me like switching over, I was grateful enough that I started to have a clientele with tattooing early on, because a lot of my clients that came from my nail clients, they kind of moved over. They support me. They have supported me through everything that I've done, and a majority of my clients are black. So I started tattooing black skin from the beginning, from the very beginning, where most people would like, I think the traditional way to get into tattooing is to and I did not do this, was to go get an apprenticeship somewhere, work as an apprentice for a year, tattoo the people they give to you, tattoo the walk-ins that come in that shop. And in that scenario, most likely you'd probably tattoo a lot of fair skinned people first, and then you would have to learn how to tattoo brown skin and melanated skin tones of all colors, light to dark. And I feel like I did the opposite way. Like I'd start tattooing melanated skin first. And, and I have a lot of Black clients right now, and I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel at ease when they come to get a tattoo. I want them to feel like the idea that they have can come to life through me. So that's why it's important for me to, put that out there.
Oh, 100%. And if I can add on to that, we need to there's been I've been to because in Savannah where you met me, there's been so many local tattoo artists I've been to, like all the tattoo shops, and they have they always say everybody is welcome here. This is a safe space because lately they look with the way our country is right now. There's been a lot of attacks on LGBTQ, Black people, and it's pretty much any non-white people scenario. Not to get too political here because I want to keep it safe, but they want to make sure that you feel safe and you feel loved and you feel welcome here, because most tattoos, most places, because pretty much Savannah is it's an okay area. Sure, there's sometimes some bit big violence going on at night, mostly in Savannah, because some kind of spiritual war. I don't know. I'm not going to exert the energy to tell you about it, but they, like I said, we just want to make sure diverse people, no matter what you are, you'll have a safe space here, and you'll be represented with the tattoos that you get.
Yeah, that's good. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cities where they don't have a lot of that representation. I'm glad that Savannah does. Maybe a lot of smaller cities that, don't have as much of a diverse culture there. I can see a lot of clients who are Black that are interested in getting tattooed, definitely getting the short end of the stick, and that sucks. I hate that is the scenario.
Yeah, but all we can do is just keep trying and keep telling people that no matter what happens, you're with us. You're welcome here. I think the more, or usually I can't do nothing to stop it. Me talking to us, this is my way of fighting back. So it's working out so far. But yeah, we just we keep finding those shops, those places. A lot of places that have diverse cultures and ethics. So people know, hey, we come back to this place. This seems very welcoming, especially you as a Black tattoo artist. You have a business that welcomes Black people in it was Ohio, right?
Yep, Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio. Yeah, sorry, I just want to make sure I got to say something. In Ohio, who can just come in and be like, hey, I want to get this tattoo. Can you help me out?
Yeah, definitely. I want everybody to. Oops, I didn't mean to kick that. I want everybody to feel comfortable when they come in. So
exactly, especially now we're just got into February and it's Black History Month, so we need to tell all these stories as possible. So, next up, have you noticed misconceptions clients have about tattooing darker skin, and how do you actively push back against those myths?
yeah, there's a ton of misconceptions that people with melanated skin can't get color tattoos, or that tattoos will fade on them easier or not last. All those are misconceptions. That's all going to depend on the artist, the technique, and their knowledge in color theory. Because not all Black ink is created equal. Not all red ink is created equal. There's a bunch of different tones when it comes to hues and stuff like that, and understanding what colors to choose when you're working on a certain client based on the undertone of their skin and a bunch of different other things that goes more into if we start getting a little scientifical, but all that stuff matters when it comes to tattoos on Black skin, and anybody can get a really cool tattoo. I've seen some artists, I don't do color tattoos really, but I do mostly black and gray, but I have seen some color artists who do amazing color work on dark skin, and it works. So it's just, I think that just takes a special skill, honestly.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm trying to remember what was it that I read. Some people just complaining if the tattoo is too dark that people will never see it. But like you said, it just depends on who the artist is. And I think, because I know most Black and brown people won't accept that the tattoo is too dark and people won't be able to see it. I don't know how you guys do it. Maybe there's a trick to it. I'm glad I'm talking to you about it, but
Mhm.
like you say, it depends on the person. But mostly it has to detail, it has to depend on, okay, can you send me a rough sketch of what you're trying to do here? So I'll know, so it can be up to your likeliness.
Mhm.
Because most people in Savannah, the tattoo artists in Savannah, they tell their clients, hey, send me a sketch so I can see and research it and do some study on it, so that
Mhm.
when you come in, we'll be all set and ready to go, so we won't have any surprises in store.
Yeah. I think too it's all about the way that you design your tattoos too. Like if you're like for instance, if you're tattooing someone who's very dark skinned, you can pull off a certain design, but maybe it needs to just have more contrast where on a fair skin tone it would need more detail. And it's all about the way that you can create the design that is readable and it lasts and over time and it heals correctly. If you do a lot of detail on dark skin, you don't leave any space for open skin, the tattoo may not be readable. Like it's not going to be as great a quality when it heals versus if you would have left a lot more open space and pulled back some of that detail and allowed their skin to tell the story. So,
Yeah, of course. Because thing is, most people want their tattoos to mean something. Like,
mhm,
my sister has a few tattoos, but
mhm,
she put them in the right places, as well as my cousin. I'm the only one out of we're the original three. I'm the only one out of the original three that doesn't have any tattoos. Because I was like, I don't know, I don't do needles.
mhm,
But my sister's been encouraging me to get a tattoo for like a while now. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And
mhm,
when the next tattoo convention, because the next one's gonna be Anime Ink Con, which is this
mhm,
May. So there's that.
mhm,
So we'll see what happens. But I think, like I said before, and as you said before, it depends on what you want. Most people want to tell a story. Well, if you want to tell a story, like I said, those since like most people, I encourage them, whoever's listening, go
mhm,
do sketches. Make sure you know what part of your skin do you want tattooed, because once it's tattooed, it's staying on there for a lifetime.
mhm.
So make sure you know where you want it to go.
Yeah. And just going back to you not having a tattoo and saying that you don't like needles, you can always use numbing cream. Just throwing that out there. That'll help you.
Yeah, I might consider that if I find out which one to book with. But we'll see what happens when we get there.
Mhm.
So, but yes, but yeah, just using all those techniques and ideas and brainstorming ideas, I think that's what's going to help with these people who have doubts, like, these misconceptions. Because sometimes the facts aren't true, which is
Mhm.
really, I think that's the certain notion, like,
Yeah.
oh, this stuff can happen, but I would probably research all the details first before
Mm,
you start jumping to conclusions.
exactly.
So, all right, this next one's important. This one's important. Okay,
Mhm.
um, as a black woman in tattooing, what barriers did you not expect to face, but did?
What one place? What did I not expect to face? I'm sorry.
Okay, it says as a black woman in
Mm,
tattooing, what barriers did you not
oh,
expect to face, but did?
barriers. Like I said, I think it was just I thought I was gonna be able to get into this a lot easier. Like, that was I think the biggest barrier was like trying to find a good tattoo home. Like, so I started or whatever. I started like most tattoo artists start at home, practicing, getting better, and I didn't go the traditional route of getting an apprenticeship. So you're like, we're already like the non-apprentice, the self-learners were already kind of like an outcast in the industry because we didn't follow the rules or the normal formula of becoming a tattoo artist. So that was number one. Number two, when I started looking for a tattoo home, the very first place I went to was an all-girls shop. It was all girls. I was the only black girl there. I think I worked there for about like 7 months, didn't quite feel at home. So I went back to working in just like a studio by myself, but I wanted to be around other artists. Like I wanted to have that energy and I really felt like I needed that to grow. And I was a little nervous like to get into a shop that I knew would be mostly guys and I don't think that I'm your like I have the stereotypical tattoo artist look. Like I think a lot of people are surprised when they first meet me and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a tattoo artist." And they're like, "Oh, really?" Because I don't think that I necessarily like fit whatever people think a tattoo artist is stereotypically. So I was a little nervous like going into a shop. The second shop I went to was I was the only girl. So it was like a big switch. I went from all girls to the only girl. And that was a good time. Actually, I loved working with those dudes, and I feel like I grew as an artist there. But I think like the barrier was finding like a good tattoo home. Like you need balance in your work environment, and that was hard to find like a really good spot to get in. And on top of that, like I said, people weren't being very friendly in the beginning as far as like me becoming a part of anything that they were already a part of.
Wow. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes it's kind of hard when we start somewhere and it's
Mm,
like, shoot, like I'm not gonna like these are new people that you're interacting with, and
mm,
and it's like I just started out. This isn't how I'm feeling about it. I think sometimes you have to you have to like have some stumbles and falls at first.
yeah.
But you have to take the time and understand and like, okay, what can we do that's going to make me feel like I'm welcome here and comfortable here? And you like, I know some of you guys have like at home studios
Mhm,
with tattoo and everything, which is actually kind of impressive because I was like, the way things are right now, most people are doing at home work. Like usually, like I'm usually here because this is my pretty much my office because my bedroom's over there.
mhm,
I just lately with the stuff I've been doing as far as like computer stuff, I'm going to have to be working at home because
mhm,
sometimes you're not in the office most of the day and all you need is a
mhm.
computer and start working.
Yeah.
But for you in particular, when you start tattoo, you had to go from place to place.
Mhm,
Sometimes it takes a while to have the money to be able to do all these things and set up
mhm.
your own studio. Like, don't get me wrong, Alexis. Your own like setting up these studios is really expensive,
It
and
is.
it's going to take time to get to where you
Mhm,
need to be. So if you have to do like day jobs, part time, etc., or to just be in a tattoo studio for months, that you
mhm.
need the money to build your own studio, like as you have right now.
Yeah.
Do it, like do it. And
Mm,
sometimes we do things we don't want to do.
mhm,
It's something my grandma taught me when I was a kid. I had to do things I didn't want to do, and that's how I
mhm.
got to here today. Didn't
Yeah.
stop me from what I have to do. But yeah,
Mhm,
sometimes you want to make sure you have a plan together. Like,
mm.
put a plan together. See, now my grandparents are in my head. Something my granddaddy told me before.
Mhm,
People don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
mhm. That is very true. I like him. Yeah, he has a good one. That is very true. I feel like I'm definitely like a leap of faith type of person. So I just want to be around good energy, and I don't mind like the hard work. Like I don't mind the uncertainty sometimes, like if I know like what my end goal is, because I know how determined I am. But yeah, opening up a studio, it was expensive. Definitely took a leap of faith. I was very nervous leaving the shop that I worked at before, but really I needed to leave the shop because when you work in a tattoo shop, like you have to go by the owner's rules. That's just kind of like standard for tattoo industry. Even though you technically work for yourself, you kind of don't in a way. And so I have two kids, and my son, he's 3, he's autistic. So I just need to be able to spend a little bit more time with my children and have like more of a flexible schedule. And I could not do that at someone else's shop when they have business hours and things that they expect out of us. So I just needed to do what I needed to do to be able to open up a studio and work for myself and be the mom that I wanted to be, on top of being the tattoo artist that I want to be.
Sometimes you just gotta have your own business, just be your own person. I think that's the
Mm,
only way to do it. Because
yeah.
most people will work for somebody for like years, and it's like, shoot, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta do my own thing.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's gonna take time, but sometimes
mhm,
we have to get through the hard stuff first. And
mhm,
looks like you've done that. You've been through the hard times, and you got to
mhm,
where you wanted to be now.
yeah.
So I'm
And
sorry, I just keep looking at that fireplace on the screen. That is very amazing.
I love that. I just think it looks cute. Like if nothing is to be played on the TV, you might as well have like a little fireplace going instead of having a real fireplace.
That is sick. Shoot,
Thank
I think when I start or going out soon, I might have to figure out plans for my own place. But I'll figure it out later. That's a discussion for another day.
you.
So let's continue. Now, what does it mean to you when a black or brown client sits in your chair and sees themselves reflected in the artist?
I think that means a lot to me because I've definitely been in situations where, you feel like an outcast or you don't feel welcomed or you don't feel comfortable and stuff. And I want all of my clients to feel like they came to the right artist, that we were meant to be in some capacity when it came down to what they're getting, and just that the universe brought us together. So it does mean a lot when my clients are happy to have me as an artist and happy to have me doing the work and feel, their selves reflected in me, because I do feel like it's a powerful thing to come together and create a piece of work that's going to be on them forever, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've seen so many people be like, I feel comfortable because she's like me and she looks
Mhm,
like me. I
mhm,
could do something like that too. I've seen so many people who done like a lot of representation. And I'll give you a few ones. You've seen
mhm,
people like I'm turning back to superheroes and pop culture for a second, okay? You've seen so many like superheroes, like it was representation, and we're talking about representation all this time. Like with Static Shaw, this is a black superhero, like a
mhm.
5-year-old black kid said that could be me right there. Like
Yeah.
you gotta have those certain representation in tattoo arting. Sorry, tattoo artists,
Mhm,
illustration,
mhm,
modeling, fashion designers, etc., burlesque, whatever you do,
mhm.
and be like, that could be me doing this amazing stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've seen so many people, so many little black girls back in 2023 when they
Mhm.
did the live action version of The Little Mermaid, and
Oh,
Halle Bailey was that.
yeah.
That was amazing. Like that,
Mhm,
they've got so many views. I think it was like almost like 50 million views,
mhm.
and it's like, yes, finally, like this could be me. I could be Ariel now. If you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, no, representation is key. And I do think it's important for people of our community to feel at home in any industry, whether that's the beauty, the tattoo industry, anime, film. Representation is so big. And especially like this month, I think like I'm glad that you're doing this and that you're highlighting like just Black figures in different industries, especially the art industry. So, yeah, it's big.
Hey, I like putting stuff out there, telling new stories, like new updates. I like doing that stuff. And like I said before, I've been watching a lot of shows. Like I said, I just started Static Shock. As you see, I'm wearing my shirt right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started episode 1. I'm trying to go back and watch it. And plus, later probably after this whole week is over, I do have plans to watch Black Panther,
Hmm.
Soul, Captain America: Brave New World.
Have you ever seen
So
Black Panther?
yes, I've seen them back in 2018. Rest in peace, chat with those, man.
Hmm.
And I need to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever. See, there's a lot of shows I gotta watch now.
Yeah.
So
So I don't. I think I seen you. I met you the last day of the convention, right?
mhm.
So with the second day of the convention, I had a guy come in and he asked me to tattoo. You remember the tribal that he had what in Wakanda in the movie, the Black Panther movie. What was his
Yeah.
name? And Michael B. Jordan. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Oh, you're talking about Killmonger
Yeah, Killmonger. Remember the tribal kind of, it's called like the Dinka. It's from the Dinka tribe. Do you know what I'm talking about?
in the
That's
Jaka kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, we was
So
wearing
he
that
got
too.
that tattooed. Like that's what I've asked. Actually, wrote him the other day because I forgot to take a picture, and I was like, "Can you please send me a picture of your tattoo?" But that's what we did, kind of like going over his shoulder to his back. Is we did like the Black Panther,
Mm.
like the tribal on him. He wanted a tribal tattoo, but he didn't necessarily want like the traditional tribal tattoos that you usually see. He wanted something more for our community and representation of us. So I thought that was really cool to get that to do that at a tattoo convention.
That was amazing. Man, I should have stayed put and saw you do it. Why did I leave?
I think
I
that
am
was
a
the day before I met you though. So like I met you on the last day. He came the second day. So if you would have came
oh,
a day earlier, you would have you would have seen me tattooing that.
I am
But
ashamed of myself. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I'm gonna post a picture soon whenever he sends me one.
Well, shoot, I want to keep eyes on that work you do. Like I
Mhm.
said, I like seeing all kinds of black creators doing all kinds of artistic stuff. Like I follow like so many black cosplayers. They're following me because they like what I've done.
Mhm. No,
So I guess it goes as being a black creator. So
yeah. And I love how we support each other so much. Like we really, really need that.
exactly, we need to be together more than ever now. And there are other races who are supporting Black History Month
Mhm.
as well. So
Mhm.
I want to just saying thank you for that as at to people who are supporting us as well. We got to keep that energy going.
We do.
All right. Let's see. Now, all right, we're almost at the end of the section. Then we'll be in section 3. So, during Black History Month, how do you personally define representation beyond just visibility? And you probably already know the answer to this.
Um, how can you ask me the question one more time? I'm sorry.
It's okay. During Black History Month, how do you personally define representation beyond just visibility?
That's a very hard question, honestly. Beyond just visibility and like being seen as an artist, I just think like even online, like being able to have different groups that you can talk to. Like for instance, like there's a lot of groups on Facebook of like tattoo artists and stuff. And sometimes it can be hard to find people to connect with in there that make me feel comfortable, seen, or a part of the group. You know what I mean? So I feel like having people that support you and having people that look like you in your inner circle that's willing to kind of like you could collaborate with, or you know, things of that nature. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but just like
Yeah.
able to have people in your industry that look like you, that you're able to work with, collaborate with, different things of that nature.
Yes, definitely. You gotta listen, you gotta go meet those groups. We've been, there's been a lot of people we're pretty much I'm pretty much part of the blurred community now.
Mm-hmm.
Blurred community, they call it blurs, take out the end and put blurs. I've been talking to a lot of people, join those group chats and everything, made those
Mm-hmm.
connections. Like I said before Alexis, I'm an introvert, but I am trying my best to go and talk to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
no
feel like
matter how long it
as
takes.
an introvert too. Like I'm extroverted with my clients and at work, but like outside of this, I'm a homebody. I'm always with my kids and my family, and I feel like what's the word? Interact with other people the most at work. Like this is my time to socialize.
Yeah, we've just got to learn how to switch between introvert and extrovert. Know
Mm-hmm.
when it's time to relax and just be by yourself
Mm-hmm.
and just be out there and interact with people. Pretty much, like I said before, I think I'm pretty much like a black Batman here because he said before, like, I'm not a people person, but when you need me, and you will, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm. That's
And so he is finding ways to work. He's finding ways to work, even though he's a loner.
mm-hmm.
So, but for me myself, I am trying my best to have those conversations, enjoy groups. I've joined I've joined a lot of groups on like social media just to be part
Mm-hmm.
of just anticipate. And I have followed a lot of like black creators who have like big followings, and some of those creators, they do follow me back because they like that I'm supporting them and they see all the work I'm doing. They're trying to show their support as well.
Yeah, honestly, too, I've been trying to put myself in more spaces where there are Black creatives. I don't know if I will be able to do this one, but there is a tattoo convention that is a Black tattoo artist expo, and I'm really
Mm,
excited. I would like to be able to do it. Haven't fully decided if I will be able to. It's going to be on Juneteenth weekend as well. It's called
mm.
to Hampton, and it's in Hampton, Virginia. I think that's going to be a great one for Black tattoo artists. So as far as like visibility and stuff, like it's great to like, have my clients come in and have someone that they can feel comfortable with. But as an artist, it's like really good for me to try to put myself in spaces where I feel seen too and that I can grow as an artist.
Yeah. Well, it's a work in progress, but like I said, we got time to do. So you got time to figure it out.
Mhm.
It's no rush.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I say we just keep putting ourselves in those spaces, do the best we can, and see where this takes us.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're out that section now. Now we're in section 3, the chair experience and the client connection.
hmm
So now you want clients to feel comfortable, excited, and celebrated.
hmm
Now, what's the first thing you do to set that tone when they sit down?
So how a normal day with my clients go, like when I first come in, they're usually coming in right with me. And like I said, like I have the TV back here, I automatically give them a remote. Put on what you want to put on. Because everybody likes different stuff. Some people like to watch TV shows while they're getting tattooed. Some people just want to hear music. And then I also have a bookshelf with an array of books if I happen to have somebody who prefers reading. So just anything to make them feel like more settled in and stuff. and I like to design the tattoo with them here in person. I might do like a little bit of designing before they come in, but I kind of like them to see my creative process and then them to be able to add on to the tattoo, like, oh, can we make that red, or can we make that bigger? Can we add these words to it? I like them to be a part of the process so that we're creating together and we can be on the same page. And I do think that that makes them feel more comfortable because they know what they're getting. They can see how the work is coming out in there. They can feel free to add any edits at any time, like right here in the middle of it. So those are two things, like allowing them to be a part of the creative process, allowing them to set the tone inside my space as far as what they want to listen to. Because I don't actually really care if we listen to music or watch a TV show. I'm fine with either. I'm going to be like tattooing. So, but those are two things that I do to make my clients feel more comfortable. And like I said, I am a little bit of an introvert, but when people come in here, I can't kind of am an open book. So I talk to them as much as possible too, to make them feel a little safer.
Wow, that sounds like a nice set. Well, shoot, if I come by, I might put something on, something as one of the shows you might like. But like you
Yep.
said, you'll be busy tattooing. But yeah, you want to make sure, like, listen, when I've been working on my part-time job for years now, and
Mhm.
yeah, I still, it's you got to show hospitality. Hospitality is like the number one thing when
Yeah.
running a store. You want people to feel hospitalized, feel like they're welcome here, and feel like you can do whatever it is you want to do.
Mhm.
So, as long as you be respectful now,
Mhm.
we just keep it going. Yes, hospitality is the number one thing to have
Yeah.
when running your own store or shop.
Yeah, especially when it comes to customer service, because this is their experience just as much as it's my experience. So,
Yes. So yeah, let's keep the hospitality going.
mhm.
So number 12, what's the most meaningful reaction you've ever gotten from a client after finishing a piece?
So I happen to do a lot of memorial tattoos, whether that's, their grandma who just passed away, her name, quotes that their grandpa might have said when they were a kid. I've done outlines of, parents' faces. I've done portraits. And I think the most meaningful reaction I've ever got, and I've gotten it on a couple occasions, is, them just being super, like, tears of joy, honestly, like just super grateful of the experience and the tattoo and like what it means to them and the way that it came out. We hug, we cry, all that stuff. Like I've even had moments where I cried back. So yeah, it's I think that's the most meaningful like reaction that I've ever gotten, is somebody just getting emotional over the piece.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice that you said that because when I spoke to another tattoo artist, her name is Paris Jarrell. She's a very sweet woman. She actually did a tattoo design with her cousin because their grandmother passed away. I think it was like 2 years ago, and they wanted to like write something down that she said that was inspirational. You want to have like something like you want to make sure like when your loved ones pass away, you want to make sure you remember all the good times you spent with them. And I'll be telling people we don't know how much time we got left in this world. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure you give them something that this going to really make their day and be like, this stays on me forever because this is what admires me the most about whoever I cared about passed away, and I want this to stay with me as long as I live.
Yeah, memorial tattoos are definitely like the most emotional sessions, I would say, for everybody.
Yeah. And I think it's nice that people are doing more of those memorial sessions because we need those moments where it's like people are hearing our story,
Mm-hmm.
and we want people to understand what happened and if we can teach them in any way or possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite type of tattoos to be able to do, is like to be a part of, like, one, listening to their story, but also to be a part of their journey of like getting a piece that's forever that they can use to remember that person. So
Yeah. Well, hey, keep doing those memorial tattoos. I think people are going to need them.
yeah, thank you.
Let's see. How do you help first time tattoo clients push past nerves and trust process? Like I said before,
Mhm.
I don't do needles.
Yeah.
For me, but you told me about the healing cream. But let's hear how you handle it.
So I might give them my backstory, like my very first tattoo or tattoos that I have that, I was very nervous about before getting, but still was able to get them in one session and complete them. I've never tapped out on a tattoo before, but also like offering stuff like numbing cream. So I offer numbing cream, and that is like you put it on, it takes an hour to set in and really activate, and it creates a surface level numb before we even get started. Then to make sure that the numbing is continuing throughout the process, especially if it's a bigger tattoo, I have numbing spray. So we can use that during the session to re-numb the skin. Like say if they like, you know what, it's starting to sting a little bit, we could take a break. We could do the numbing spray. Usually takes like 15 minutes for that to kick in. And then we could keep the numbing going so they can finish the tattoo pain-free. Also like just allowing them to have, like if they want to stop and get some food and letting them bring that into the session. I always tell people to bring candy because some people, their nerves get so bad that they can actually pass out. Like that's happened. So I always tell people like my system sends them a text message like, make sure that you eat, make sure you drink water, make sure you're bringing something to drink to your session so that you can stay hydrated. Also just having candy at hand, like, hey, because whenever somebody does get to the point where they're about to pass out, they need some sugar. So like giving them some candy or something to start helping them feel back to normal, offering the numbing, and honestly, really just like I said, allowing them to watch what they want on the TV and just anything to make their nerves kind of calm their nerves, because it can be a little nerve wracking, especially if you're doing a big tattoo or if you're doing a difficult placement. So yeah, just trying to make them feel as comfortable as possible.
Yeah. So, and it's really, because I know when people get scared, like, I won't tell you the one thing is when I did get in my shots for that vaccine when COVID was going around, I had
Hmm.
to suck it up and get it and be like, I got the shot. It's like I was
Hmm.
like, just get it over with. I was like,
Hmm.
"Ugh." And then they started and they was done and they put the band-aid on. I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to. Thing is, I know I'm still scared. I hate scared and hate needles, but I realize that somebody I still need to take those needles.
Yeah.
So especially with my sister encouraged me, I need to get a tattoo or something. I was like, I might as well try to get used to it.
I would say just do something small your first time. Maybe get a quote that's special to you or something small, not super detailed, and just see how you like, so you could get the idea of what that pain might feel like. And you have an idea of like what you're getting yourself into before you commit to anything big. That's why I tell most people who are nervous about getting a tattoo, but they want to, because I swear it happens every time. People get they're so nervous, they get their first tattoo, they realize that it doesn't hurt as bad as they expected it to. And then now all of a sudden they have all these different tattoo ideas and they're in every month getting a new tattoo. So that's usually how it happens.
Yeah, my plan is to get something small, something that means something. Like I think for me, with this whole career I'm doing, I want to get something that says you can do it.
Hmm. You
Just,
should.
just something plain and simple.
Hmm. You should do it.
So, so
Well, if you ever come to Ohio, I'll do it for you.
yes, ma'am, I'm on it. Oh, let's see. Wait, did I skip that one? I'm trying to remember where we were. Drag. We got lost in conversation. I forgot where we were. Hold on.
I think
It's
the last question you asked me was
oh,
something.
here it is. Here it is. I found it. Have you ever turned down a design because it didn't align with your values or the client's long-term happiness?
I have turned down certain tattoo designs, not necessarily because it didn't align with anything morally, but I do like I'll explain. Sometimes clients will ask for designs that won't translate well into a tattoo. Like, yeah, that looks really good as a digital piece of art, but it necessarily wouldn't translate as well onto skin because that's a live organ that we're going to be altering. So, I if we can't get on the same page about a certain design as far as like placement, color, design wise, I will turn it down because I do not want to be the artist that took on a project that they didn't have faith in and then it doesn't turn out as well as it should. And if there is another artist out there that feels more comfortable tattooing that, then they should probably go to them. I've turned down tattoos that people have requested inappropriate body parts. I will not be tattooing anything of that nature either. That's just a comfortability thing for me. But I haven't I've been lucky enough to not have anybody who asked me for any highly offensive tattoos or anything like that. So I haven't had to turn that down. If the moment ever presents itself where someone asks me for something that I just morally don't align with, I definitely will turn it down.
Oh yeah, there's so many people who request weird stuff like that. And this is making me upset. There
Mhm.
was a situation with Stella Chu. She's very sweet. I met her at Anime and Con.
Mhm.
She said and I saw her story saying this person was sexually harassing her because and he wanted her to tattoo his down there.
Yeah,
So
I've had that request as well that I've also turned down. It's
yeah.
unfortunate that people even ask for that. I mean,
Yeah, now some tattoo artists do it, but I don't understand how they be doing that stuff. But we're not going to get in deep into that. But
yeah.
going back to her, I saw what happened, and it's like, hey, y'all need to really respect us female tattoo. It's hard for us as females as we're in this industry, and people are harassing us like this.
Mhm. No, I've definitely been sexually harassed by clients and stuff before. I just tend to ignore those people. Like to tell a story, I was working in that shop with all guys, and I remember there was a man. He asked to come in. It was wintertime last year. He was homeless, and he was just looking for a place to warm up. And everybody in the shop was friendly and was like, "Yeah, come in. Warm up. Like, definitely get comfortable." And I mean, he had asked me for my Instagram account name, and I gave it to him. I just thought he wanted to see my work, like didn't think anything of it. And then later on at night, I didn't see it till the morning, but he had sent inappropriate pictures and sexually harassing messages and stuff. And I just told my boss at the time, he was like, "Oh, if he comes back in here, we won't allow him." And he literally came back in the next day, and I was very uncomfortable. I just went to the back, and then they escorted him out. But it's unfortunate that female artists even have to have experiences like this or endure anything like that, because we just want to come to work, show up, and do our best, just like everybody else. And I'm pretty sure there's men in the industry who have been sexually harassed too. It goes both ways, but it is unfortunate that she went through that, or that anybody should have to go through that.
And people are still doing this thing. And listen, Alexis, I don't blame y'all as women as being scared of men mostly these days, because there's been like a few like acts where they do like sexual harass or charges and all that stuff. Like I'm at least one of the good ones that you'll meet out there, because sometimes when people do stuff, I do call them out on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Accountability is key. I think holding other people accountable and then being accountable yourself. I think we need that in
Mhm.
just the world in general if we want to see any change. But yeah, I mean, and I think that women are just afraid because you just never know how serious someone is about harming you. So you kind of have to take everything very serious.
And I'm sorry y'all have to go through this. Like we're just trying to make art. We're trying to make money off of this amazing art we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you get, weirdos coming off the street and doing all kinds of like, you
Yeah.
know, pretty shitty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta watch your backs for that stuff. But yeah, I think the most thing is, if someone wants to say, "Hey, I want you to do this" or something, like, this is the same thing I told someone about tattoo. You're gonna be tattooing like any kind of like, body parts or stuff or
Mm-hmm.
any kind of thing. Like most men do not ask for consent. This is something that I discussed with the not safe for work person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always ask for consent. She actually liked that I'm one of the ones who asks for consent all the time, and she
Mm-hmm.
started following me on Instagram. She's from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and consent is key. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, let's say, for example, if I want a tattoo from Alexis, I'd be like, "Hey, Alexis, I want to get this specific tattoo
Mm-hmm.
on this certain place. What can we do about this?"
Mm-hmm. No, I
So,
appreciate that. And I mean, you have been very respectful from the day I met you at the Ghost Tattoo Expo, and it was a pleasure meeting you. Like it's honestly refreshing to meet people who do ask for consent, who are respectful and don't cross boundaries. Like those people like literally make the experience 10 times better.
exactly. Listen, I try my best. My mom and grandma taught me some manners.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So, I'm trying my best every day. Sometimes I make mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable, but we
Yeah.
learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main point. All right. Now, number 15, and then we'll be at section 4. We're almost at the end. We're going to go sit in. Only 2 sections left.
Okay.
What do you think separates a good tattoo experience from a truly unforgettable one?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think like the story that comes behind the tattoo, like when you get a tattoo, and you'll experience this when you get one filled. But when you get a tattoo and you're wearing it, people are gonna come up to you like, oh, and they're gonna ask you questions about your tattoo. Where'd you get that done? Or what is that? Or what's that mean? And I think that what makes the difference between a good tattoo experience and a great one is you walk into a shop, you get a tattoo, you're like, thanks. Usually you might have picked some of their flash designs, or you might have just pulled something off of Pinterest that you liked or whatever, and it's a tattoo. Little, whether it has a lot of meaning or a little meaning, it's like, okay, you came in, got out, that's it. But sometimes like a great tattoo experience, like when you get a tattoo, like say you may not have known exactly what you wanted. You just had an idea, but you had to talk to your artist and help them, get your vision and get your tattoo and stuff. And now you have a tattoo that you love. And people are like, oh, tell me about that tattoo. Like, oh, you know what? I went in here this day. I knew I wanted a dragon. I didn't know what I wanted the dragon to look like. Dragons just represent this, that, and that for me. And my artist was able to create me a design that I really, really love. And I feel like that is what makes a difference between like a good experience and like a really great experience, because you remember the entire session. You remember like how you felt when you got the tattoo. I think that's what makes a great experience, is like the memory behind getting it.
Exactly. I know people feel stoked when they see all these tattoos. And when people get one, it's like, I finally got one, but I made sure that it means something and it's really spectacular. Like, you want your first experience to be a very unforgettable moment that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. And I think that's very powerful to have.
Yeah, and then even if the tattoo just means you simply just like that design and you wanted it for a long time and it doesn't have any other meaning than that, that's valid enough. Like, and if you can find an artist that brings your vision to life and put it on your skin, and now for the rest of your life you get to answer questions about when you got that tattoo, and or why'd you get that tattoo? Like, I think that's special. I have a sleeve. I get questions about it all the time. I was just at a party on Saturday and they were asking me to take my sweatshirt off and show everybody. So I love stuff like that personally. Like, we can talk about my tattoos or your tattoos all night.
Well, hey, people, that's what it's about. People want to see the artwork. They want to see the amazing tapestry you've created.
Yeah.
So stop hiding. Let's see it. So I think people, I think that's nice. People feel proud that they have something that's really special to them. And I think showing it to other people and telling them how this happened and how you got it, I think that's really amazing.
Yep, that is true.
So, all right, we're almost done here. There's 2 sections left. So, section 4 is style, inspiration, and creative vision. Now, you're gonna like this first question because I picked it out just for you.
Okay.
Script number 16. Script, florals, black and gray realism, Japanese inspired work. What do these styles allow you to express that others don't?
I would say that these styles kind of express, like, they like embody everything that I really, really love. So as far as like the Japanese style stuff, I always, like, me and my friends always laugh and I always say like, I think that I was Asian in a past life, because I'm just very like interested in everything like in the Japanese culture. Like my sleeve, I can kind of show you a little bit. My entire sleeve is like Japanese themed. I have a dragon. I have a Hanya mask, a warrior woman. Like, these are kind of things that I it's like my special interest, like things I really, really like in the Japanese culture. So I love doing those kind of tattoos. I just find all the art in that category just beautiful. I also love flowers. Honestly, if I wasn't a tattoo artist, I probably would have like a florist business or something. I just love flowers in general. So being able to tattoo flowers, and I don't have a lot of plants in here right now, but in my old shop, I had a lot of plants. So like anything botanical, floral, those are kind of like also my special interest when it comes to artwork. I love painting flowers. I love tattooing flowers, just something that I love. And then as far as the script font, I feel like that became a thing because of my precision. I have like a very, very steady hand, and I feel like I kind of like grew that skill like doing nails, and so I'm able to do like a lot of those script fonts. I always like to tell people like I tattoo like a printer. I want the font to look exactly like what it looked like when I printed it out from my printer. So I just think like precision is what got me there. And then black and gray realism is like really where I could turn my brain off and just tattoo. I love, especially like animal realism. I love tattooing black and gray animal realism and stuff. I feel like I don't have to think so hard in order to get those tattoos on the skin. I can just be in my workflow and kind of just like vibe out and do those tattoos. And it kind of takes me to like a peaceful, happy place.
Well, the way you've been saying flowers, it looks like you like. I think you have a really love for flowers.
I do.
It's nice. I don't know if you ever been to Japan, but they do have cherry blossoms over there.
So I want to go to Japan so bad. Actually, me and my daughter. I want to go see like I think it's called the Sakura Forest, if I'm saying that right. But the cherry
Yeah.
blossom forest, I want to go there. My daughter is like obsessed with Japanese culture and anime and all that stuff. So she constantly asks me. She just called me earlier too, but she's constantly like, "When are we going to Japan?" And I'm like, "That's not a cheap trip, girl. We're gonna have to plan for that one." But in her head, we could just go to Japan. So
No, that's gonna take time. That's
I
gonna
told her
take time.
she has a hard time sitting still on the plane to Florida. So I'm like, it's gonna be a much longer flight to Japan, Lily. But
Well,
um
hey, an 18-hour flight, yeah, that's gonna be long.
yeah, she struggles with the 3.5 hour flight. So we're gonna see, but eventually one day we will get over there.
It's gonna take time to get there, Like, listen, I'm already planning to go to Japan because Japan, mostly Tokyo, because Tokyo's known for having like so many expensive toys to play with. And it's
Yeah.
like all those tech companies, because thing is, what my goal is, because thing is, when I want to try to work for Apple, there have been a lot of like places in different countries where Apple is hiring, like Shanghai, China, Ireland, UK,
Mhm.
London. So I was like, well, shoot, I guess I could work at that company that does all the iPhones and everything.
Yeah.
So it's something fun to do.
Yeah, I eventually will make my way over there, but I'm like, I love Japanese food. I think that'd be my main thing when I travel is like going and trying out all the different food over there. And then like I did see that they like allow tourists to travel around Japan for free because they want tourists to see some of the other areas of Japan too, not just Tokyo. Like they want you to go kind of like further out. So that's definitely a trip that's on my bucket list.
Isn't it both of ours?
Mm,
We're doing our best just to try to get there.
yeah.
But I think as long as we just stay focused and be
Hmm.
productive every day, we'll make it happen.
Hmm.
But
Definitely.
yeah, but going back to that, yeah, flowers, all that stuff, because I was thinking, because when I saw your back room and you said this inspiration was like trying to express yourself, like, have you ever thought putting like a lot of flowers in your studio as well, or no?
I do want to. It's just that I don't have in the studio. I don't have any like any windows for outward light. So I don't think that they would like live as long as here. I do have a bonsai tree, which my
Mhm.
bonsai tree is doing great. Any other time in the past when I've had bonsai trees, they died and it made me super sad. But bonsai trees are one of my favorite type of plants to have. And so right now I have one and it's been flourishing. I do have some fake flowers over there just to give me the vibes, but definitely going to get some more stuff here. I'm not finished decorating. I actually just moved into the studio in December. So still decorating, still have a lot to hang up and stuff, but definitely be more plants in here soon.
And then the other thing with your tattoos, you said you're into dragons a lot. You like
Mhm.
dragons?
Yes, I have two dragon tattoos. So I got this one. It's a little older. It's like 5 years old, but it's like a dragon with some lotus flowers. And then I got this one last year. It's not finished in August. You could probably kind of see it.
I can see it.
Yep. So I have two dragon tattoos. Don't ask me why. I just like dragons. So
Well, I think you've been seeing a lot of movies and TV shows to make you feel like I like dragons so much. Like I need to have one on my tag. I think dragons has been like the most mythical, very popular creature of all time. And
yeah.
that's really, like I've seen like, anime shows that have dragons in it, if you count Bakugan Battle Brawlers with the toys back in the day, Dan and Drago, Dragonoid, you
Yeah.
know, or Shenron for Dragon Ball Z.
Hmm.
I think that's why I think dragons are like just the most popular creatures of today in this pop culture element.
And then I'm not really a huge anime fan. Like I haven't seen a lot of anime. I've seen Naruto and I've seen Demon Slayer. And Naruto had like a dragon, didn't he? That he worked
Yeah.
with. Yeah. So yeah, dragons are popular in like anime culture and Japanese culture in general.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go back and watch some of those shows with dragons. It's really
Mhm.
nice to check them out. But yes, but yeah, that the flowers, it's a good combination.
It's those are my favorite categories. Like I'll tattoo other stuff too, but those are like my favorite to get to tattoo.
I can respect that. Don't
Mhm.
change it. Okay. Next up, what draws you to timeless designs in an era of fast trends and viral tattoos?
I think it's so easy to like get on Pinterest and just pick like some angel numbers or a butterfly, even though I love tattooing butterflies. So I'm not saying anything bad about that. But it's so easy to go pick out one of those designs and just get something like really cutesy and fun and trendy. And I've done that in the past too. And I've been working on those cover ups because I feel like what happens is we see designs and they're inspiring. They inspire us to get them, but they may not be like a true representation of like who we are or what we like. And then we're, ever changing beings. So as you get older and you come more in like into yourself or whatever the case may be, you're going to wish that you would have picked pieces that were more timeless, that had not necessarily more meaning, because that's not always like necessary, but just represented who you are as a person a lot better than just having a tattoo because everybody else has that tattoo and you like it. Because I see a lot of tattoos that I like all the time, but I learned to appreciate, I like that tattoo. I like it on you. I don't have to have it on me, and I need to save my skin and my canvas for pieces that are timeless that, I'll love to see on me even when I'm 60, 70 years old, because it's who I am, you know?
Of course, don't let that change you who you are. This is your way of doing stuff. Like I said, sometimes, how can I say this? I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Sometimes, technology evolves so fast throughout the years, and we've seen that with all the social media and the exact thing, Pinterest and wherever other platforms you be doing this stuff. And you have to think to yourself, well, shoot, things evolving fast. How am I going to be able to improve myself fast in these times,
Yeah, definitely. And then it just helps you stand out, like as a artist or even as an individual getting that tattoo, like picking pieces of art that are timeless. Like that's how you can stand out against everybody else.
And like I said, great things take time.
Mm-hmm.
And, exactly. If you, like I said before, staying productive every day, doing your research, brainstorming what everybody else is doing, and try to apply how can I do it in my own image.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
like the difficult. Like sometimes, oh shoot, see, now I'm venting again. Sometimes people try so desperately to be something that they're not. And and it's like, like just be your own person. Don't try to be what this person's doing. Listen, everybody's journey is different. Something that I talked to with some of the voice actors I spoke to, I spoke to one of them. His name is Jack Rodman. He's the voice of the Crawler from My Hero Academia Vigilantes. He said, comparison is the thief of joy.
It is. Instead of you just being able to embrace who you are because you're special, and you can show the world that you're special. But if you're following the masses, like, you know, you're not going to necessarily, that's not following your purpose in my opinion.
Exactly. Like, hey, I don't need this to beat you. I just need myself.
Exactly.
It's like all the stuff that you do, it makes you exactly, like, I've been seeing like so many shows, like, if I can put, My Hero Academia again in this situation, Mount Lady was saying like all these ultimate moves that you're doing. She was talking to like all the kids in high school trying to like get ready for like the all war against the villains, etc. All these moves that you're producing, they make you who you are.
Definitely.
So it's really amazing. But go ahead, I'm didn't mean to interrupt. You say I what?
No, I was saying I agree with that.
Yeah, yes. So yeah, and she's not wrong, when we got to like the final showdown, it's like everybody was doing their best, like pushing through their limits, the fires was going up. And yeah, and she was right, all of these things make you who you are. These moves, whatever it is, if you're doing an ultimate move in a show, or if you're doing tattooing, illustration, fashion, artist, I can keep going down the list.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it makes you who you are.
That's true. Like even kind of turning that into tattooing, like translating what you just said from the show into tattooing. Like I feel like a lot of times like people have some very special skills that they're sitting on that they're not embracing and they're not working on and turning into their own techniques because they see another tattoo artist with a similar style doing it a certain way and they like their work so much they want to copy everything that they're doing. But sometimes you just need to find your own lane in that style. Like I've seen some of the greatest artists like that are really, really amazing. They have a technique I've never seen before that they didn't steal off anybody or, copy off anybody. They kind of just like cultivated it over time. So yeah, it definitely, like, I think being yourself and doing what works for you is gonna work out for you in the long run too.
Yeah. And so far, I think with both of us, we're doing what we like doing. We're doing what we need to do, and it's working well. Like I didn't expect to like do this much since I started this whole I'm podcast since June,
Mhm.
and it's like shoot, I've done up to at least 49 episodes,
Oh
which is
wow, since June?
which is crazy. Yes, June of 2025, and it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna keep doing it because my first episode blew up to that many views, and I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it.
And I applaud you because podcasts are very hard to do. Like I had thought about doing one. I had done some research and taken a step back because I'm like, this is a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of time away from what I'm already doing in my main goal. So I decided not to do a podcast. I might eventually maybe just drop a couple episodes of me like talking to some artists, but overall, I probably won't have my own podcast because it's a lot of work. And 49 episodes 49 episodes since last year. That's really, really good.
Well, that and I'm just a talker.
Yeah.
I like talking to people. Like every day I go out, I just talk to people. So I found ways to use that and add that to my bachelor's degree in digital media production and journalism into this. So yeah, I'll keep talking as long as I live because there's so much to talk about. And listen, there's billions of y'all out there. So I gotta prepare myself.
Yeah, definitely.
So I will, but I do take breaks in between. So there's that too. Got to get my strength back.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Especially with this week. I do have a break on Tuesday and Thursday, so that's good enough.
You have a busy week.
I know, like I have interviews and I got 3 regular ones and 2 panels. I should have seen that coming, but like I said, when I post that reel, I'm entering the find out stage.
Well, you're just starting to see all the results from all the hard work that you've been putting in. So
I'll remain optimistic till the end of this week. So, but well, I want to stay optimistic forever. Next question. Let's see. Now, how do you help clients translate emotions or memories into visual art?
Just really getting their story behind like what they're trying to translate and why they're trying to translate that. So if it's us, like I said, I don't do a lot of like cartoons or characters in my work only because I don't have like a lot of people asking for that. But maybe we can like use certain words that mean certain things. Like I said, I do a lot of script. I do a lot of quotes sometimes to get the emotion across. Like say if I'm doing like a quote, I might like change certain fonts. So like some of it might be in print and some of it might be in a really delicate script font and things to kind of like put the emotion in the tattoo without necessarily writing out those emotions exactly, or, bringing in certain flowers because they symbolize certain things. Like for instance, lotuses are like purity. So I might do a lotus with their newborn child that they just had with their name. What else is it? Like I know a girl was going through like a really bad breakup. She had like a boyfriend's name, so we were covering it, and that was like a really big part of her life. So we did like a butterfly because butterflies, they signify like transformation and like just the change that she was going through. So there's a lot of ways that you can put the emotion into the tattoo in different ways.
Yeah, breakups, falling outs. It's that's what I like about you, Alexis, and most tattoo artists too. Like every time something like this comes out, y'all do your best to customize that and put a lot of context into that tattoo as well. Listen, when I did my interview with a previous voice actor, Kayla Tim Schiff, like we've been talking a lot about the context. Like she's based out of Texas. She's one who craves context. I crave context too. Like ever since I started watching all these things and looking at you guys' artwork as an adult now, back when I was a kid in high school, I was in for the entertainment. I told I apologize if I'm late to the party and not paying attention to you guys.
Mhm.
She said, "How dare you? You're a
Mhm.
human. You're a human being, dude. That's the
Mhm.
greatest thing about growing up."
Yeah.
So you know, context is key to when you're doing like all these sorts of artwork and be like, what's this mean? What's the context behind all this? What are you trying to do? And it's something that I've really been paying attention to since 2023. I've been paying attention to more stories and context. This is after I left
Mhm.
graduated from college in 2023. So I
Mhm.
was like, if I'm going to be doing more of this stuff, maybe I need to start having discussions about context clues and everything.
Mhm. It really does make a difference when it comes to tattooing because I feel like sometimes like our clients they have an idea, but their idea might be small and whatever it is that they're trying to portray onto their skin, like we can build off of that, especially when we have the backstory, like, oh, okay, let's add some butterflies in here, or let's add a nice little quote in the background, let's add some clouds, let's add a sun, like, whatever it is that we need to like basically put their story onto their skin.
Yes.
Mhm.
I say we sorry. I'm just happy. I don't even know the right words to say. I say it's perfect because I think the more you do that kind of stuff, Alexis, like putting context clues into this person's tattoo and being made very, very serious and thorough with their story, it
Mhm.
makes the tattoo even better that way.
Yeah, it definitely adds the meaning in there even more.
So keep doing it. I like it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Which piece in your portfolio best represents you as an artist right now and why?
I would say the piece that represents me the most right now is probably the one that I did at the convention, which that one I didn't plan to do. That kind of was like last minute, but she had got like the elongated, delicate like script font down her leg. I feel like that is like I feel like I'm kind of moving into that being one of my specialties. I love doing script font. I love doing like big script font like that. So to be able to do that at a tattoo convention, and that was actually the only person I was actually able to enter to win in the contest. We didn't win, but it's okay. I was like happy to be able to even enter the contest because everybody else's tattoo I didn't get done in time. But I would say that probably represents me the most as an artist right now. Like I'm trying to do more of that work. It's something that I really, really love doing. That and is there another piece? There was an owl I did recently on this guy's arm, and it was for his son. And it had his son's name also in script font. But I would say like stuff like that, like the owl and the animal realism, I really, really enjoy doing that too. Like I said, realism takes me to like my happy place. So
Hey, it's called being in the zone, and you were in
yeah,
the zone. I've seen
yeah.
so many people who just like want to just be like, nobody's bothering me. I'm just doing my thing, and you just blocked out all the outside noise, and you just started drawing.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel when I do like the realism because it's just like it's very calming to me. Very calming.
Very common. Shoot,
Mhm,
sometimes I be in the zone when I be doing my own thing too. It's like nobody's distracting me from doing this masterpiece. Like
mhm.
I would rather just be here and just be in the zone for at least 5 to 6 hours doing my thing, and nobody stop me. Sometimes I have my eyes closed too.
It
Be like,
reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to just sit in my room and draw. That's what it feels like because nobody's bothering you. Your parents when you're being quiet and you're sitting down with a notebook or something, they just leave you be and let you do your own thing. So that's kind of how I feel when I'm tattooing.
well, hey, if push comes to shove, you might be doing more of that. All these other tattoos expos coming up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a couple more this year. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do the one in Virginia if I can get there. If not, there is another convention in Nashville that I wanted to try out, and then there is, honestly, at when I was at the Ghost Tattoo in Savannah, that was actually my very first time ever participating in a tattoo convention, and that was my first time in Savannah, Georgia. And so many people asked me like, "Are you going to be back for Villain Arts?" And at the time, I hadn't even considered that, but because I got so much love from just like all the locals that were coming and getting tattooed and stuff, I'm considering like going back to Savannah and doing Villain Arts tattoo convention because I had such a great time at the Ghost Tattoo convention.
Well, if you decide to do it, there's also Anime Ink Con this May if you want to come back to that one in Savannah. So there's that if you want
And
to try.
it's in May.
Yes, it's in May.
It's in May. Oh, okay. I know. I think I was going to take my daughter to the Anime Con that's here in Columbus, but that one's in July, I believe. But if I can't make it down there in May, like I'll probably try to do Villain Arts in September.
Don't worry, I'll do my best to be there. You know it.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm only there for the art. So
You might just have to come get your first tattoo there.
my sister's trying to get me to talk about it. We're probably gonna have another discussion soon. So
A convention is a good place to get a first tattoo. Like that's a good experience.
I'll put it on the list for this year.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Next up, when you imagine your work 10 years from now, what do
Mhm.
you hope people will say about it?
What do I hope people will say about it? I hope that in by year 10 that I really like have honed in on a style, like maybe even niche down to something that really like embodied me fully as an artist, where I feel like at year 2 I'm still kind of testing stuff out and seeing what I really love. But I hope that at year 10 like people will look at a piece and be like, I know Baby Tattzz did that. Like that has her style written all over it. I know like by then I definitely will be doing work that like stands out. So
I can't wait to see where your story takes you 10 years. I'll be there to watch the show.
okay, period. I know
And
that's
it's
right.
really nice. You did this tattoo because I know some people. And question is, what are we going to be remembered for when this is all said and done? Like for me, like I'd be on so many adventures with this thing I'm going, and it's like I want to put this in a scrapbook when I'm done with everything.
That's nice. It's good to be able to like look back at your journey and see like how far you've come and where you started and everything. Like it's beautiful.
So we got to document everything these days, no matter how much it's possible because we don't know how much time we got left. So please keep documenting those things.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
All right, finale time, section 5, motherhood, legacy, and what's next.
Mm-hmm.
How has being a mom of two, if I got that correct,
Yes.
shaped your discipline, creativity, and perspective as an artist?
Like I want my children to like see how hard I work, and I want them to like learn a lot of things from me. As far as like I don't necessarily want to be the parent that's pushing like a conventional lifestyle on them. I want them to see like that they can create their own path too in their own lane, no matter what that is. It doesn't have to be art, whatever it is that they choose that they want to do. So I feel like allowing them to see me like be disciplined, to come to work even though nobody is making me clock in. I could easily sit at home and kind of push off my goals. But like watching me be disciplined, watching me chase my dreams and do something that I'm passionate about, and then just watching me be successful too, so they can be inspired to have a lot of that same drive and ambition when they get older and they start chasing their dreams.
Definitely, I know it's rough having two kids. It's not
Mhm.
easy. I guess it's not easy, but as time grows, you learn that it gets easier once you start doing
Mhm.
something. You know,
It's a
I
labor
know
of
I know I'm not seeing anybody. I don't have any kids. I don't listen. I tried that in college, still looking for that special time. Listen, I'm 25. I mean, 25 is still young.
yeah, it's
So
young.
right now it's like right now I'm just focused on being successful right now. All
Mhm.
that extra stuff will come when the time is right.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I do understand by watching all of you guys who are like engaged, married. Like I have a lot of people who are engaged, married, and having kids. They're already following on Instagram, and we have discussions, talk
Mhm.
about stuff like that. And I think that's nice to have those connections so people can understand.
Mhm.
Like I've been there before.
Mhm.
I can help you.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good to create those kind of connections because, your friends can give you advice, or, you can learn from their hard times and whatnot. But yeah, no, being a parent, it is a lot of work. But like I said, it's a labor of love. It's something that I love being a mom. Like I'm a mom before I am a tattoo artist. So
Definitely. Exactly. Mom first, tattoo art. That's the priority
yes, definitely.
right there. Next up, what do you hope your children learn from watching you build your career?
I think I kind of touched base on this. 'Cause I might have answered more than the last question, but just really like learning to follow their passion and create their own path. Really, like I feel like I was, like I said before, I was taught to go get a 9 to 5, go to college the traditional way, go to college, get a 9 to 5, work corporate life, and that just wasn't the ideal situation for me. Did not I was not interested in that lifestyle at all. And I don't want my kids to feel like that they have to abide by all the rules. They can do what they want to do and, chase their dreams and be as passionate as they want to be and be as creative as they want to be, and they can still be successful. So I hope that them watching me kind of do it all on my own way can, teach them that they could do that too.
Yeah, you want your kids, like I said, it's you know, if I can say this too, like, kids, I want them like kids to be like, oh, I want to be able to teach my kids the rights and wrongs of how I do things, because
Mhm.
not only are you tattooing, you're also teaching them about life in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important mindset to have because you never know what your spouse, your kids are going to be going through, and it's best to teach them now so they'll know how to deal with it.
Yeah, there's like lessons in each part of it all along the way. So,
Mhm. And so yeah, I should say, just keep teaching those lessons while you're working, telling them like, life stories. I don't know if you do this, but I don't know if you like tell them any like life stories while you're working, but
mhm.
I don't know if you actually do that.
So
But I
my
think
my
go ahead.
daughter is constantly like, "Mommy, can you tell me stories of when you were a kid, or can you tell me stories of you at work?" She loves to sit around and like just listen to things I've gone through. So I feel like she is learning through me in a sense, like because I'm a very like open kind of fun mom, so I don't hold back too much. And like me and her were like little besties. My little baby, he's still like he's not even 3 yet. He'll be 3 this month. So me and him haven't got a chance to connect in that way, but she's 11, so now she's going to middle school and she wants to hear about things I went through in middle school. And I mean, middle school is even where I started to really like gain my respect for the arts. So um,
Wow.
yeah, she's coming up on times that I went through, and now she's about to make her own experiences.
Wow, that's interesting. And I know when high school and college hits, it's that time. But
Hmm.
yes, keep teaching your kids as much as you know, because there's a lot of stuff that you might need to get share to them.
Definitely.
23. What advice would you give to Black women or moms who want to enter creative industries but feel scared to start?
My advice is just to start anyway, because if you look at it like if say you're 30 years old right now and you're like, I really want to be a tattoo artist, but as a mom, I'm scared of what that would look like not going to a traditional job and relying on clients, even in a slow season and stuff, or even how long it will take me to learn to be able to become a good artist so I can be successful. That time is going to pass anyway. So if you don't start now, 2 years later, like I started tattooing when I was 30 years old. I think I started literally the month before my 30th birthday. So if I hadn't started at that time, I'm now 32, about to be 33. I would still be in the same spot right now, doing nails, complaining about my hands, saying how I wish maybe I could tattoo, or, just wondering like what that would be like instead of being in the position I am right now. And I'm in the position I am now simply because I started. It's not going to look perfect. It's not like the journey's not going to be perfect. You're going to run on hard times, but that's literally what's like building you up and creating you into the artist that you are. You have to go through those times. You can't go around them. You can't shortcut stuff like that. Like you just have to take the leap of faith and start. You just have to start.
Pretty much, you can't win or lose if you don't
Mhm.
do nothing. You
Yep.
gotta do something. You're gonna listen. You're gonna have losses, but
Mhm.
even through those losses, you gain success. Like you learn from the mistakes that you're gonna make. Like I said before, making mistakes is gonna be inevitable.
Mhm.
But if you just sit around just doing nothing, then if you just sit in your hands, you're not going to accomplish anything. And I
Yeah.
don't think that's the smart way to do things. Like, especially when I was scared to go back to the school, I had to realize I have to do something. I can't just do nothing
Mm-hmm.
because I need something. While this is good so far, it's not making me any actual money at the moment. I realized that I have to do something in the meantime. Sometimes you have to have that mindset. What can I do in the meantime
Mm-hmm.
while this is like trying to get somewhere?
Yeah, and I think the mistakes is what makes us learn. Like mistakes aren't necessarily a bad thing. Like we kind of need them because if we never made the mistake, we would have never learned the lesson. Not to mention, I just think that I don't know, something beautiful about the journey. Like I look back to like when I first started tattooing and I was like nervous and nobody wanted to help me and I was, like, oh, I really want to learn this and to where I am right now and I'm like, wow, I feel very proud for how far I've come in this short amount of time.
It's really nice to hear your story. I say we just and like I said, new adventures await after we're done here. So we're
Mm,
gonna keep the train moving as far as we can.
okay.
So uh how do you protect your joy and avoid burnout while balancing life,
Mhm.
art, and business?
Yeah, so I literally create a work schedule and I try to stick to that because I feel like when we talk about mistakes and learning lessons and stuff, a mistake I made in my last career as far as like doing nails is I may have had business hours, but I did allow people to talk me into working outside my business hours. And not only did that mess up my health, like I feel like it took a toll on my mental health because I was like just mentally drained from how much work I was putting in. My physical health, it literally, was triggering my carpal tunnel, but also I just feel like I messed up my work life balance at that time. And you need that. Like, as much as I love tattooing, this is still a job for me. And I do still have to be a mom when I leave work or before I come to work. And I still have to have a social life and have friends and take time to work out and all the different things I need to do for myself. So, uh, it's just like now I have business hours and I stick to those and I don't work on Sundays. I don't work on Thursdays and those are 2 days that are like non-negotiable for me. And I don't work outside. I don't work late nights. Like this is like late for me anyway. But I don't work late nights cuz I have kids and I need to be home with them. So just sticking to the rules I created for myself.
Oh, definitely create that schedule. Something that's going to stick with you, and you can adapt to it. Like, I have to change out my schedule a few bit. Sometimes I'm struggling a little bit. Like, I know when I said when the new year starts, I was going to get back to working out at the gym.
Mhm.
So far, I lost like 30 pounds.
Oh, that's really good.
I've been trying to keep a routine, trying to stick to the schedule. I think having schedules is the key to balancing your life out fully. It's not easy at first, but I think once you get started on it, it gets better because now it's like ever since I went back to gym, I'm starting to do more stuff now.
Yeah.
So I think that's key.
Yeah, it really is key because I think it like really it teaches us to be more disciplined. And you need discipline in anything that you're doing to, be successful. So, yeah, it's very easy for someone to offer me $500 to work 2 extra hours like after I'm supposed to be off, but I just tell myself like no, like I'm supposed to be home by 7. I have kids to take care of and just sticking to my guns. Really, that's how I like keep my work life balance.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, life is important. Life is priority. Kids are definitely priorities. You want to spend as much time with your kids as possible.
Mhm.
I've learned that from watching. They released another Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie last
Mhm.
December. It was called The Last Straw. When
Mhm.
Grad's dad was about to send him to military school because Grad wasn't doing right again.
Mhm.
But after a while, Greg starts to learn and really appreciate his dad and
Mhm.
starts, Frank Heffley, and starts to really bond with them, hang out, does the stuff that he likes doing.
Mhm.
And Greg was saying like, when he messed up again, because I didn't want to mess up. Like, we were actually having a good time together,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to mess that up again.
Yeah.
But after spending time with his dad, the amateur with the other people,
Mhm.
he canceled the military stuff. It's like, I don't want to send you away. I want to spend as much time with you as possible.
Yep.
So, and I think that's really powerful to have.
It is.
So yes, scheduling, making that time for family, that's always important. You
Hmm.
know, you're a family person. I can see that.
Yeah, definitely. That other than being at work, I'm always with my family, with my kids, my mom, and my boyfriend, and sometimes my sister and her child. I also have a brother too, but those are the people that I'm around like 90% of the time.
Yes, definitely. Keep those, keep making those memories. We're gonna need them.
Hmm.
Um, when all now, last question. When it's all said and done, what legacy do you want Baby Tattzz to leave behind, both in tattooing and in the community?
I want my legacy to be that, that I created a space that makes everybody feel comfortable, whether you're a Black creative, Asian creative, Hispanic creative. I just want everybody to feel comfortable and like feel like they belong. I want people who are new to the industry to have like the same experiences that other artists get when they get to get started. So really, I just want to basically be known as the girl who just kind of like embraced everybody and the artist who created a path for other artists to be able to embrace themselves as an artist and stop holding back and just be able to get their foot in the door and have the opportunities that they need to grow as an artist, as a creative, and just like an individual in this field in its entirety.
Hmm, that's really nice. We gotta encourage people, no matter how or whether you're doing, like you said, whether it's Hispanic, because Asian, whatever,
Hmm.
or creators who are doing this kind of. We want to inspire them the best way we can as possible.
Yeah.
You with tattooing, me doing the journalism thing, whatever it is we're doing, we want to make sure they feel like they're welcome. They can do whatever they do that makes them
Hmm.
happy, and they can be successful when in the end.
Yes, that there's a place for them in this industry too. There's a place for everybody.
Always a place for everybody.
Hmm.
Well, I think that wraps it up. Did you enjoy our conversation today?
Yes, I enjoyed it. This was nice. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for inviting me. This is actually my first podcast too. I've never actually interviewed on anybody's podcast, so I was a little nervous, but this has been great. It's been comfortable. Feel like I knew you forever. So, yeah, I enjoyed
Well,
this.
again, I gotta show hospitality here, make sure
Hmm.
everybody's comfortable. That's why I always ask, are you enjoying our conversation so far?
Hmm.
That's the main goal of how I do things here.
Yeah, nope. It's been great. Thank you.